Binkies!
Binkies? What does Binkies mean?
I don't know.
So, who are we?
We're Lewis Moon, and what I was meant to say is good afternoon, pudding brains.
So we're Lewis Moon, are we? Both of us?
Yes, we're
collectively?
Binkies.
Collectively.
We're pudding brains.
Well, I'm Daddy Cool. He's Lewis Moon, and you are listening to
Dr. Time and Space.
the
Blink.
weekly podcast.
Blink. Why so successful?
Ah.
And that's the question we'll be studying today. Why is Blink such a global phenomenon?
Surely that won't be the only thing on the show today, will it?
Of course it won't. We have a Q&A with the Figure Adventure versions of Peter Capaldi and Jenna Coleman, interviewed by Mr. Daddy Cool here.
We'll also be having a look at the news for the week.
We'll have our review of last week's Press of the Randomizer episode, Planet of the Ood.
And, yes, I know it's an exciting moment, but we'll be pressing that randomizer button again to work out what we'll be watching next week. So,
I'm the master clapping.
oh, clap away, clap away.
Everyone.
It's something for people to look forward to later. What are we starting off the show with this week?
We are starting the show off this week with some news.
News, okay. I wonder. I mean, if you remember last week when we were sat doing the news, it actually, I think we were talking for about
40 minutes.
40 minutes, weren't we, on the news?
And we just had so much to fit in.
We had so much to talk about, but we did. We talked quite well. What have we got on the news this week then, Mr. Moon?
Well, we've got quite an exciting piece of news this week, which is the most exciting bit of news we've had for ages since the last Christmas pieces of news. But it's something to do with Series 9, and if you're Whovians, then I'm sure you would have heard this, but Toby Whitehouse has confirmed he's writing a two-parter for Series 9.
So does that mean, is that an end of series two-parter?
No.
Oh.
I'll tell you about that in a minute.
Okay.
Filming has begun in Cardiff for Series 9 of Doctor Who and includes a star-studded guest cast. The new series will be back on BBC One in autumn. The episode's currently being filmed, written by Toby Whitehouse, produced by Derek Ritchie and directed by Daniel O'Hara.
Fantastic.
Stephen Moffat, lead writer and executive producer, said, "An amazing guest cast for a brilliantly creepy two-parter by Toby Whitehouse. Peter Capaldi and Jenna Coleman are back in Cardiff, back in the box and back in action for one of our scariest adventures yet."
Sounds good. We like the scary ones, don't we?
Listen was so good, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. So I wonder if it's going to be Listen Like Scary or something else.
Scary. I'll tell you what episodes he wrote later.
Okay.
But on set for the new series, Peter Capaldi added the adventures begin again for myself and Jenna, and I'm delighted to be back filming my second series of Doctor Who. Paul Kay, who played Thoros of Maya in the third series of Game of Thrones, joins the Doctor Who cast in the two-part episode. A comedian and actor, Paul is also well known for being the voice of Vincent the Fox on the puppet-based BBC comedy Mongrels.
I've seen bits of that before.
Commenting on his role, Paul Kay said, "As a kid in the 1970s, the two shows you always watched were Top of the Pops and Doctor Who. They were unmissable. I actually wrote a song called Looking for Davros in my first punk band, and I sang it like a demented Dalek. I got to present TOTP, Top of the Pops, back in the mid-90s, and landing this role in Doctor Who completes the dream double. Peter is a perfect Doctor, and I'm loving every minute of the experience, even the 5 hours in makeup. What a treat. Best 50th birthday present ever. That might mean he's a monster."
Sounds like it, doesn't it? Sounds like he's going to be either a monster or certainly some form of deformed human sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds exciting, doesn't it?
Oh, there's even mummies. Also starring in the episodes will be Morven Chrissy, who previously played the role of Amanda in the crime drama Grantchester and featured in Death in Paradise and 2012.
Okay.
Asha Ali, who played the part of Malik Suri in the critically acclaimed The Missing, takes up a role in the guest cast alongside Colin McClure, who appeared in EastEnders as part of the Who Killed Lucy Bale storyline.
Ah.
Recognised for her theatre and TV performances, actress Sophie Stone, which we saw about earlier,
Oh, yeah.
appears in the show for the first time. Sophie was the lead actress in the play Woman of Flowers
Woman of Woman.
and has appeared in Midsummer Murders and Casualty. Also joining Peter Capaldi, the Doctor, and Jenna Coleman, Clara Oswald, and confirmed for roles in the double episode are Zaki Ismail, Stephen Robertson, and Neil Fingleton. Further guest cast for Series 9 will be released over the coming months. Doctor Who is a BBC Cymru-based production for BBC One. Now, what did you think of that big piece of
Very
news?
long piece of news. No, sounds good stuff, doesn't it? I don't know. I'm rubbish at actors and actresses. I never know who's who, so I wouldn't know whether they're good or not. Obviously, the main article there I remember was Dennis Pennis, but we talked a little bit about that last week, didn't we? I think.
Yeah. Toby Whitehouse is writing it. Who's written School Reunion.
Yep.
He's written trying to remember which ones he wrote. He wrote A Town Called Mercy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I know that.
Yeah.
He wrote
The Long Pause. Yeah, I can't remember now. You did when we looked at
there
this
was
the other day.
two more.
You were coming up with it.
I did come up with it, but I forgot what. The God Complex.
Ah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
And Vampires of Venice.
Okay. So, can you run through them again? Can you still remember them?
Vampires of Venice.
Yeah.
School Reunion. God Complex.
Yeah.
And The Town Called Mercy.
Okay. What do you think of those in order? What's your favourite of those?
My favourite has to be School Reunion.
Yeah. I've not seen that one.
Second would probably be The God Complex.
Yeah.
Third would be Vampires of Venice, and
Yeah.
last would be Town Called Mercy.
Okay, that's quite interesting. Because Town Called Mercy I enjoyed, although I think I can't remember whether we were talking about it on the podcast or whether we were talking about it just generally because we talk about Who quite regularly.
Yeah, we do.
But I really liked it, but that was probably just part of the Al Maria thing, I'd imagine, more than anything.
So what do you replace it?
I've not seen them all. I've not seen School Reunion, so I can't
Have you
comment
seen
on that one.
Vampires of Venice?
Most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would go Town Called Mercy
It's your favourite?
is my favourite. God Complex, and then Vampires of Venice.
I like the Vampires of Venice, so
Yeah.
that would come last
Yeah.
for me.
But I think what it shows is that they're all good. They're all good episodes, aren't they?
So it would be good for him to write a two-parter.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting, isn't it? Okay.
Episodes 3 and 4, if we told you that.
Is that what they are?
Yeah.
Is it okay? So I wonder if those. All these different guest stars that you mentioned, are they guest stars throughout the series? They're not the guest stars from one episode.
No, they're the guest stars for this episode.
Oh, for the
I think.
episode. Okay. Oh,
I think that's what it said.
yeah.
So that would be quite a start.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do, isn't it?
So we're continuing our best of 2014 awards
Okay.
over January. Last week we looked at best lead actor. We looked at best male guest star. We looked at best recurring character, best female guest star, and best villain.
Okay.
Today, we start off by looking at Returning Monster.
Ooh.
Now, who's your favourite? Was it Clockwork Droids, Daleks, or the Cybermen?
That's an interesting one. I would get in that series. They're not necessarily my favourite monsters, but in terms of what I like seeing, was probably the Clockwork Robots.
Yeah.
Actually.
I also thought the Cybermen had a creeper edge to them.
They did, yeah.
They
They're
have before.
still not as creepy as the.
No, not as
as Patrick
creepy
Troughton
as Patrick
era.
Troughton and William Hartnell eras.
But it was good to see them having a little bit more menace, wasn't it?
It's quite creepy in Two of the Cybermen when they delete that man. You saw, remember that clip we watched the other day from Two of the Cybermen?
Yeah.
That's quite freaky.
Yeah, they were. And they just sounded more creepy, didn't they? Then. Any more polls on there? Or any more news?
Do you want to talk about some of the people's views on
Yeah,
it?
I can do. Yeah. Okay. So what do people say? The Clockwork Droids, but I would have found the Deep Breath villains great, even if they were considered new monsters. Someone else said, I found the Daleks to be interesting and the Cybermen unsettling. So that sort of backs up really what we were saying. But the Clockwork Droids are amazing in all their creepiness, and yet it did not at any point feel forced or artificial, genuinely scary. I think it's the Clockwork Droids. They were, to quote a phrase, reimagined, and that made way for an equally scary story that left me satisfied afterwards. I hope the Clockwork Droids wins. The Cybermen and Daleks are always coming on. I'm going to go with the Clockwork Droids. They were fantastic.
Everyone's bored of Daleks and Cybermen now. You need to have a series without them, really.
Yeah, but people always expect them. That's the thing, isn't it? Clockwork Droids, they felt more scary. Definitely the Daleks, someone says here. They had a very menacing feel to them this time. The genius idea was putting people inside one, and the concept of a good Dalek was a fantastic twist. Someone said the Cybermen, Series 8 made them a force to be reckoned with for, in my opinion, the first time since Classic Who. And then finally, classic Clockwork Droids, because they don't appear all the time like the Daleks and the Cybermen. So basically,
do you think there should be a series without them?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you go back Classic Who, you didn't have them in every series, did you?
Not in every series, no.
Did any Doctor, other than Paul McGann, not meet the Daleks? I think they've all met him, haven't they? But I think. Excuse me. Pondering, you're working your way through them all, aren't you?
Yeah, they've all met them.
Yeah.
Apart from
Paul McGann. Okay. And we know that he met them, even though it wasn't the telly, because he would have at least experienced them during the Time War.
Yeah.
So every incarnation of the Doctor has, at some point or other, met the Daleks. That's interesting.
Cybermen, though, no.
And the Cybermen have had a few breaks, haven't they?
They weren't in John Pertwee's era at all.
No.
Or Christopher Eccleston's or Paul McGann's.
Yeah. Yeah. Any others? Not. I think I see others have all met them, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to think the way through them. Sylvester McCoy, yeah, he met them, didn't he? Yeah, they did them, didn't they? Yeah.
Should I? Barrowman reveals new Torchwood plans.
Okay.
John Barrowman has revealed that Torchwood will be revived in the form of several BBC radio plays.
Ooh.
And he hints at the possibility of a new series.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
Speaking at the Television Critics Association tour, he said, I do know that we're doing 3 or 4 radio plays for the BBC for Torchwood. My sister and I are discussing the possibility of writing one of them and whether or not that leads to something on TV.
What's your take on that?
I've never watched Torchwood, so...
I've not. I guess it's probably a bit old for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
More adult things. Give it a few years and maybe you'll be allowed to watch them.
So, there was one of them. I mean, my mum watched it and she thought it was terrible.
Did she?
But that was the last one they did.
But she probably just didn't understand it.
But I think there was one... I think it might have been called Children of Earth, which looked really good.
Yeah.
Like, the monsters looked really good in it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was that one.
What about Captain Jack? Do you like Captain Jack as a character?
Yeah, I do like him, yeah.
How often did he come into it? He was only really in Christopher Eccleston's era, wasn't
He was in Dave Tennant.
Was he?
Utopia. That one with the master.
Oh, right. Okay.
He was in it.
I've not seen
Little
those ones,
bits
have I?
as
So
well.
I can't remember them being in the David Tennant ones, but it's probably just ones I've not seen. Okay. Any more news there, news reader?
Yes, there is more news.
There's always more news.
This is quite a tough poll, quite a
Okay.
good one as well.
Okay.
Best new monster.
New Who monster.
Is it Robot Knights, the Listen Entity, the Teller, the Skullbox Blitzer, Spider Germs, Mummy Foretold, the Boneless, or the Cantrafari? Well, what I'm going to say is that, okay, I'll go through them all. Robot Knights, they were quite good.
Yeah.
But the episode wasn't that good.
Yeah, and it's not as yeah, they were good, but they weren't as cool as some of the others.
No. The Listen Entity, you don't see it.
I don't see how you can lack and win.
The Teller, really cool. I'm putting my vote on that.
I probably I think the Teller is probably the best, the coolest looking monster.
Yeah, that's but the best idea I'll tell you in a minute. Skullbox Blitzer, cool villain, but wasn't in it much.
No.
Spider Germs, didn't really get to see them much. The Mummy and the Foretold, I think, was maybe the coolest.
Yeah,
the best idea.
I think
the best idea.
It's a toss up between the Teller and the Foretold, and I'm not sure which one to vote for.
The Boneless was really cool, and the Cantrafari was a really good idea. I'm going to go for the Teller for the best looking, but if I had to go for the best idea, then I'd go for the Mummy Foretold.
So which one are you going to vote for on then?
I'm probably going to go for the Teller because
that
would be the one that I'd want a figure of, and there's a Foretold figure coming out this year.
Ooh. So are you but no Teller figure? No? I know you said that there was in the figure magazines, the figurine collection.
Quickly read some.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And the Boneless. I would like to see both return, but I'm giving my vote to the Cantrafari. Split between the Cantrafari, the Boneless, and the Listen Monster. I'm going with the Listen Monster. The Listen Entity is sadly enough not a true monster, nor is it an entity. I only wish it would have been, then I'd have gladly voted for it. How could it not have been an entity? It was experienced, therefore it has existence. Okay, anyway, we'll ignore that particular argument. Any more thoughts? Torn between the Boneless and the Mummy. Both are very well utilised by their stories and the special effects.
Basically goes for the Teller.
No, not yet. The Cantrafari, creepy dream crabs for the win. The Boneless, so creepy and cool. Cantrafari, the Forsworn. It says here. The Foretold. The Teller. I mean, there's a spectacular cast of new monsters this season. Has to be the Foretold, possibly the best design monster yet. The Boneless for sheer originality. Yeah, well, yeah. So I think the Boneless and the Cantrafari are probably gonna win, aren't they?
Yeah.
Looking at it, but the Skullbox Blitzer for me. I bet you've got the people that make the figures looking at this, and they'll be sort of thinking, "Oh, we should have made figures of the Cantrafari." Is it going to be figures of the Cantrafari?
Not that I know of.
Oh.
Series 9 filming in Spain.
Ooh. So we know they're just filming in Cardiff, and then they jet off to the hot climes of Spain.
It appears that the Doctor Who team are will be heading to Spain for some filming of Series 9. Director of photography Ali Azad, who is working on 2 episodes for the next block, tweeted the news, the 2-parter.
Oh, interesting.
He wrote, going to Spain on a location rescue for the Doctor. Recce, I mean. Doctor Who more recently used the country for scenes in Asylum of the Daleks, A Town Called Mercy, and Kill the Moon. So, what do you think that would be the 2-part episode? That would be.
Could well be. I think the great thing about Spain's just got some really great barren landscapes. So I think if they're looking for spacey type,
Kill the Moon was there.
views.
So
Yeah, I hadn't realised that actually.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot though.
Mm.
I remember watching Doctor Who Extra, and it was on there.
I mean, I can't remember whereabouts they filmed it now. I'm not sure it was Almeria for there, but it may well have been sort of Tenerife or somewhere like that, perhaps. More news, sir?
Yes. So next up in our best of 2014 is best episode of visual effects. Now there's lots of very good effects in this series. There was Deep Breath, Into the Dalek, Robot Sherwood, Listen, Time Heist, The Caretaker, Kill the Moon, Mummy on the Orient Express, Flatline, In the Forest of the Night, Dark Water, Death in Heaven, and Last Christmas.
Well, sir.
What would you say for best visual effects?
Let me see.
No, it's every episode.
Best for visual effects. That's really, really hard. Maybe Kill the Moon actually.
I'm torn between Deep Breath and Flatline.
Yeah.
Because of the dinosaur and the boneless.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
True.
say Flatline probably.
Okay. Yeah, you might be right. Actually, I mean, what was pretty clear was the whole of this series. Everything looked cool, didn't it?
Yeah.
There were some of the best directed episodes, if not the best directed episodes I think we've ever seen in Doctor Who.
Thank you for that. A view on the series. I was a bit surprised by the Cybermen flying effect, the takeoff from St. Paul's, because they had gone for a realistic effect, but it looked wrong for a second because we are so used to the magical type flying that Superman does. I don't think Death in Heaven will win this one. That Cyberman flying effect. Ha ha ha. Deep Breath was virtually all filmed on green screen. Flatline for me. The 2D creatures were stunning, but Deep Breath with Half-Face Man runs very close.
That's true, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know whether they'll have that in here, but I mean, if we, in fact, perhaps we should do a poll on this. But best scene from Series 8. Perhaps you should stick one of those on your webpage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what I'd vote for there, but I can't say now because you might
The
put a poll in.
restaurant scene, I would have said.
Yeah, I think I would as well. Yeah. The whole of the series, probably the best scene.
I think between Flatline, Deep Breath, Time Heist, and Kill the Moon, but the SFX in Caretaker were really brilliant. My favourite was Deep Breath. I went for Time Heist. Flatline definitely, one of the creepiest beings yet. Oh, of course it's Flatline. Have you seen that beautiful episode? There's not really any more news, I wouldn't say.
Okay, well that's good because it gives us time to talk about other things on this week's show.
So I'll do the rest of the polls.
Okay, yeah. Run through the polls. So how many? We got many more polls.
2 more.
Okay.
Well, this one and the next one.
Yeah. Okay.
So, which 2014 episode contained the best music score? Deep Breath to Last
Yeah,
Christmas.
crumbs. I'm struggling now. It's really hard to
I'd
remember.
say
ones.
Mummy on the Orient Express because of that the Foxes song.
Oh yeah, that's cool, isn't it? I seem to remember Listen being really good in atmospheric, so I'm going to go for Listen.
Okay, I'll vote for that one.
Okay. But it's a difficult one, that, because you probably remember better than me because you've been watching them all again, haven't you?
I've only watched 5 of them again.
5 of them again. Yeah.
I'm watching them every Friday.
Right.
And maybe Saturdays if I have time.
Can I ask you something on these then?
Yeah.
I know we're in the middle of the news, but we do jump around anyway, don't we?
Yeah.
If I was to ask you, and you've already told me this once today, but I'm going to ask you again for the benefit of the listeners. If you were to say whether something was best on first view or second view of each of the 5 so far, could you run through them?
Deep Breath, first view was better.
Yeah.
Into the Dalek, second view was better.
Mm-hmm.
Robot of Sherwood, first view was better.
Mhm.
Listen, I'm not sure about. And Time Heist was better the second time.
Excellent. Okay, so a bit of a mishmash there. When you say you weren't sure about Listen, that was because there's some bits in it you think the surprise element was better the first time, whereas for other things you understood it better. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting.
Do you want to read some comments?
Yeah, I'll read a few comments on here. Into the Dalek had some great stuff, I feel. I loved the bit at the start, sounded fantastic. It also had that bit with the Dalek attack where it all went a bit Star Wars. The bit in Death in Heaven with the Doctor chasing the TARDIS in midair, that music was fantastic, very Bond. But I did like the 12th Doctor's theme in general too, especially during his speech in Flatline. I'm torn between Mummy on the Orient Express and Last Christmas. I also love the new Doctor Who theme at 12, but I voted for Mummy. I loved how Murray Gold managed to play with genres in Mummy. Those almost jazz tones, giving it a very atmospheric and, dare I say, noirish undertone were great. But Last Christmas had some great themes in the end, which I think we call 12 and Clara or Second Chance. This person though said that they didn't think that the soundtrack was as good as it had been in some of the earlier ones.
I think that as well, because you didn't really know it was there, really, the music. You forgot about it.
Yeah.
Because the episodes were so good. But that's sort of a good thing.
I think it is. Well, someone said here, the 12th Doctor's theme, which plays in almost every episode, is just amazing on its own. Much less whimsical and more, I'm going to kick your alien posteriors.
Yeah, it does play in like every episode.
Yeah.
This
This person said, I like the new Doctor's theme compared to the severely overused I Am the Doctor. I like to say the Caretaker because it had a good excerpt of the Doctor's theme as well as the surprise reappearance of Sandman with a box. This person said, school was pretty awful this year. The only thing that stood out slightly was Last Christmas. I'm going to go with Mummy on the Orient Express. And then finally, if I could have voted for them all, I would have done, but I ended up voting Deep Breath, mainly for the dinosaur in the Thames opening music.
Okay.
Okay.
And finally, we have our best director
Okay.
series.
Best director of the series.
8
Okay.
and Last Christmas. Is it Ben Wheatley, Paul Murphy, Douglas McKinnon, Paul Wilmhurst, Sharif Folkson, and Rachel Tallahay?
I'm going to vote for Paul Wilmhurst, I think. Yep, because he did Kill the Moon, Mummy on the Orient Express, and Last Christmas.
He did 3, so he worked the hardest. But I'd go for Rachel Tallahay.
Yeah. I just thought the effects in Paul's ones were really, really good. And the shots were good. Not to say that the finale wasn't, because that was pretty damn good too. But that's what I would go for. What have we got here then? So other people's views. I could not fault the director this season, but I nominate Ben Murphy because the commentary is done for his episodes on the DVD release.
Ben
Murphy.
He wasn't a director.
No, so who were they thinking of?
Ben Wheatley.
Ben Wheatley, I imagine.
Or Paul Murphy.
Oh, well, in that case, we have no idea. I was tempted to vote for Rachel Tallahay, having made an interview in the last 2 editions of Doctor Who magazine. The only episodes of New Who that I thought were poorly directed were The Rebel Flesh and The Almost People.
I like that.
Although it's hard to put my finger on exactly, just felt the story could have been clearer and more scary, and that this was the fault of the director, not the writer. The worst directed episode for me is Night Terrors. Gatiss gets blamed for this, but honestly, the visual choices damage the story almost from the start. Okay, this person actually gives a vote for them all. Say Wheatley 9.5, Wilmhurst 8.5, McKinnon 8, Murphy 7, Folkson 6, Tallahay 3.
3?
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, that? Because I thought it was really well directed.
I thought it was.
So they've gone for Wheatley top. Which one's Wheatley do again?
The first 2.
The first 2, right, okay. Paul Wilmhurst, Ben Wheatley and Douglas McKinnon were fantastic as well. His direction was exceptional. Kill the Moon, Mummy on the Orient Express and Last Christmas were definitely the best looking and most well filmed episodes. Paul Wilmhurst, Douglas McKinnon and Rachel Tallahay. Ben Wheatley has to be for me. Paul Wilmhurst episodes were my favourite for the year. So, McKinnon all the way. Wheatley was a bit of a disappointment and I'm a big fan of his movies. Douglas McKinnon, easy. And do we want to look? McKinnon, hands down. So, it's got a spread there, really, isn't it?
Next week, we'll be looking at the final 5 sets of polls.
Oh, yeah, when
will
those be?
We'll be looking at best writers, best episodes, and more.
Excellent. Good. I've enjoyed these polls, and it's good because it gives us something to get our teeth into, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So is that it for the news?
Yeah.
Okay. So what part of the show does that take us on to next?
Should we do our main feature now?
Yeah, okay.
Why is Blink such a global phenomenon?
Okay. Are you going to start this one off?
Well, it's a big discussion.
It
this
is.
one, really.
Yeah.
Well, Daddy Cool, you are one of the biggest fans I know of Blink. It's one of your favourite episodes. And I think that it's just so weird that an episode which doesn't have the Doctor in much, but just has this person who's only in it once, and then it gets all the rantings, because I don't think Stephen Moffat expected that.
I think one of the things with this one is it introduces probably one of the standout new monsters that come with New Who.
Yeah.
I think the Weeping Angels are, particularly in that episode particularly, they are quite really terrifying, aren't
That
they?
is probably the best episode with the Weeping Angels out of the 3, or if you count Time of the Doctor, 4.
Yeah. I think that the thing is, I think the thing is with the Weeping Angels, the second time when they're in it, I've forgotten the name of it now. What's the second story?
Time of Angels and Flesh.
They're more like a sort of standard Who villain, aren't they, in that one?
Yeah.
Then when they come back again in
Angels to
Angels to Manhattan, they're a bit more creepy.
Stephen Moffat writes all of the Weeping Angel ones.
Yeah. I mean, they've been good in each of them, but I think that's one of the reasons why that's such a great episode, is they're a completely different sort of villain than what we've ever seen before.
What I was going to say is that some people complain about Stephen Moffat, but if someone complained to me about Stephen Moffat, I'd just say, what are your favourite episodes? They'd probably reply, Blink, Day of the Doctor, Day of the Doctor, Deep Breath, Listen, Dark Water and Death in Heaven. They'll probably reply with all of them, the classic ones, and then they say that Steve Moffat's such a rubbish writer. Yeah,
but I think sometimes it's not so much his writing that some of them don't like. They don't like the direction he's taking the series, but I don't know.
He doesn't like how Clara's.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think Blink is classic. It's classic Moffat. Yeah. I think it's also the very fact that the Doctor is hardly in it is great, because the fact that it's still a great, exciting episode, even though the main man isn't there. But it's really clever.
It's just so weird that it gets all the rantings when the main character isn't even in it much.
Yeah.
And the main characters aren't in it much.
Yeah.
And it's just a character who's in it once.
But it also introduces us to a really interesting character, doesn't it?
Sally Sparrow. Sally
Sparrow, yeah. And you know, she could actually, you could make a Sally Sparrow series, and it'd be really good, wouldn't it?
Can you get a figure of her?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't think you can. You should be able to.
We want to see a spin-off on Sally Sparrow. Come on, BBC, you can do it.
Sparrow and Nightingale.
I think the other thing, the whole concept of a creature that kills you by putting you back in time. So they don't actually kill you at all. All they do is that they take you away from everything and you live your life normally until the end of your days. And it's just a completely different concept, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's like if a weeping angel came into this room now and you were okay because you kept your eyes open, but I accidentally blinked and was zapped, I would be effectively dead to you.
Yeah.
But I would have lived for my full life, however long or short that may be. But all of a sudden, I'd be taken away from you in the same way as if somebody had shot me in the head.
Larry Sparrow, it could be called the spin-off.
Yeah.
Just noticed. But yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that's probably a lot of the reasons. I think the introduction of the Weeping Angels is part of it.
Yeah. I've been practicing not blinking recently because just in case of Weeping Angels.
Just in case, because it could happen. You never know.
There's 1 in a trillion chances that it could happen today.
Yeah. Do you think we'll see much more of the Weeping Angels?
I don't think in Peter Capaldi's era we will much. I mean, I think their stories ended. I think Stephen Moffat confirmed that the Silence and the Weeping Angels, and River Song, their stories have kind of all ended, and they're like the main villains of the Stephen Moffat era. Yeah,
I think it's difficult to. I'd imagine we'll probably see the Weeping Angels at some point, sort of fleeting appearances, but we won't see any. They won't be pivotal. They won't be like a main villain, and I think that's probably right because they probably have. There's a limited amount you can do with them, isn't there?
Yeah. You can't just put them in every episode. Imagine if Weeping Angels were like Daleks and Cybermen in every series.
Yeah, they can't walk
3 times.
They can't walk, for God's sake. You know, they can't move. And perhaps if at some point or other they get the ability to be able to move normally, but then that would be half their appeal gone, wouldn't it? The whole sort of silent assassin sort of thing is quite exciting about them, isn't it?
Yeah, if he made them fly or something, that would be weird. When you blink, they flied away. And imagine if when you blink, they could just move freely.
Yeah, no, that's right.
And like they came towards you.
Yeah. I think what is really interesting actually is when you look at the series placement and the fact that Blink, which is a story unlike any other Doctor Who story, is sat next to Family of Blood, which is very unlike any other Doctor Who story because neither of them really have the Doctor that you know and love in it that much.
No.
And it's got
they're both really successful.
Yeah. But if you were to, I mean, like you did, really, didn't you? Certainly, I don't think you watched Blink, did you? But you straight away. But you watched Family of Blood. If you were to, which one came first? Was it Blink first?
No, Family of Blood.
So if the first episodes you ever watched was Family of Blood, and then Blink, you'd have no idea at all what the series is about, would you? Because they're very, very different.
I was just like, what's this about? Although I'd watched Sarah Jane Adventures before, and the Doctor was in it. David Tennant was in it as the Doctor back when I was watching Sarah Jane Adventures.
Yeah, true. So you would have known a bit from there. What do you think? What was I going to say? I had an ingenious thought just a minute ago. Yeah, I know what it was. On the basis that the Weeping Angels didn't appear until Blink episode, what have they been doing in the universe before then?
Vortex Deluxe.
It just makes you wonder, doesn't it? Where have they been? You know, why did William Hartnell, the first Doctor, why did he never bump into the Weeping Angels?
Or Patrick Troughton.
They were behaving.
Play a recorder, and then they came along.
They were behaving in those days.
John Pertwee reversed the polarity of the neutron. So Tom Baker gave them a jelly baby as Peter Davidson gave them a stick of celery.
Can you imagine trying to give a Weeping Angel a jelly baby? Because
the only way
to be able to take it was if you blinked.
And then you went back in time.
Yeah.
Oh no, where's my TARDIS?
Oh no,
I could go back to time.
Jelly babies haven't been invented. Oh no, what am I to do?
Oh, phew, I have a secret stash. Oh no, they're in my TARDIS.
What Have you got any other thoughts on Blink? I'll tell you another thing.
Yeah.
Whilst it's in my head, the music is fantastic, isn't it?
I know.
And we've used it a fair few times in the Mr. Lewis Moon Adventures. Haven't we?
So good. Such
Yeah.
a good.
Really atmospheric. It's like it plays out a bit like a horror film, really.
Yeah.
It is actually a very creepy episode.
In polls, it comes near the top. I mean, there's Caves of Androzani, Day of the Doctor, and Blink, which come in the top 3, placed in some sort of order. And I don't know what order. I think it would either be Caves of Androzani or Day of the Doctor at the top. Caves of Androzani or Day of the Doctor at second, and Blink at third is the main sort of aspect, because Caves of Androzani is the most loved classic episode.
Do you think that Caves of Androzani is better than Blink, though?
Not in my opinion.
To me, if I was looking at it, my 3 favourite episodes are probably Day of the Doctor. It
Yeah.
was a game changer, I think, and because it had the best scene ever, if you ask me, of all time from Who, and actually one of the best scenes of all time from anything, actually, which was the bit the curator comes in. Then it would be Blink, and then it would be Talons of Wang Chang for me.
Yeah.
That's my top 3. Of
I
all time.
don't know what my top 3 is, because there's so many. I've watched a lot more than you, haven't I?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, Family of Blood would come near the top, because that was my first episode I watched.
Yeah, that's what, and it's one of my favourites as well, actually. Yeah, even if it's got the foppish Doctor in it.
Foppish. Fop, fop, fop.
Have we got anything else to say about Blink, or should we move on to
Fop.
our talk through Ood-related talk?
Odd Ood.
Odd Oods.
You sure it hasn't?
Yeah, that'd be okay, yeah.
Yeah, let's move on to our Ood talk.
Okay.
Unless you have something.
No, I think that's Blink done. So, Oods.
By the way, just saying that, it's the 10th anniversary of Who, so that's why we did that feature this year.
Right, okay.
This year, in March,
Okay.
26th. But yeah, okay, what do you think of Planet of the Ood?
So, a bit of background. Planet of the Ood was last week's randomizer, which picks up from basically a bucket full of Who episodes. We pressed the button, it randomly picked one out. It randomly picked out a different one first of all. I can't remember which one it picked out.
Christmas Invasion.
Christmas Invasion. You'd only just watched it and it wasn't Christmas, so we skipped that one on. So instead, we got Planet of the Ood, which is an episode of the David Tennant era with Donna as the companion. Did you want to give a bit of an introduction to it, about the story of the episode?
Well, it's the second episode with the Ood, and there's Ood operations, and they're treating them as slaves, and they keep saying the circle must be broken because then they can hear the song, but then something's taking over them.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, no, it's actually it's a cracking episode, I think, actually, because the Ood, which are essentially a very very calm race that wouldn't harm a fly, but they've got this sort of red eye thing going on where they
harm a fly.
they go a bit rabid. Yeah.
Fly sticks to the dog poo.
Yeah. But the yeah, it's really good. I think, as people that listen to the show regularly know, I often moan a little bit about David Tennant and Donna, but actually I don't think it's a particularly foppish episode at all. I think it's well acted. I think Donna's not too annoying. She's a little bit annoying, but not too annoying. But the Oods look great, I think, and I think I like all the fact that I like the bit when the rabid ones got all the sort of saliva and stuff flying out, and they are actually really menacing, aren't they?
Yeah.
Good story.
Good story. Well, okay, let's rate it out of 10. Monsters out of 10.
I think this is probably the best Ood episode.
Out of 10?
I'm going to give it a 9.
9. Okay. Character development.
Character development, not really much going on in the character development, I don't think.
7.
I'd say probably 6 actually for character development.
Excitement.
It's really exciting. I think it's not slow at any point really. Although I like slow things, I'm a slow person. I reckon actually 9 probably for excitement.
And episode overall.
I'm going to give it a 9. Overall.
You can give it a rating out of 40 if you want.
No.
I am.
Okay, we can give it then a rating out of 40. That's a really random. Why out of 40?
Because there were 4 sections.
Ah, right,
Okay, let's add up my. I can't remember what my excitement one was now.
I said 9.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think. So, I think it's
34
34 is what you're going to give it, is it?
out of 40.
Okay.
34.
So if we were looking at the big long list of things that we've watched on the randomizer, where would this one come, do you think, for you?
Second.
Second, yeah.
The Hand of Fear still comes first for
Still
me.
got Hand of Fear top, and then probably this one second. I'd probably agree, actually.
And Let's Kill Hitler third.
Yeah, I'd probably agree. Because, it's got some great monsters, good story, lots of excitement. Probably one of the best episodes of the Russell T Davies era.
Yeah, even though it wasn't written by him.
No, I can't remember who wrote it now.
Keith Temple.
Keith Temple. Okay, that's right. We looked him up, didn't we? And we found he'd written like Emmerdale and Casualty and things like that.
Yeah. Should we press the randomizer again?
Okay, let's look at the randomizer again. So, for anyone that's forgotten, we briefly mentioned it just a minute ago. Are the macros and everything all loaded up?
Yes.
Yeah. This is the moment where we press the magic randomizer to find out what we'll be watching and talking about next week. So, are you going to press it? Okay. So, what have we got here?
We've got Dalek
Okay.
today.
Dalek. So, what's Dalek?
Dalek is the Christopher Eccleston episode.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so another New Who one. Okay, we had a couple come up which episodes which we either don't have or aren't available, didn't we? So we had to skip through those.
Or we didn't have. One of them was Voyage of the Damned, and one of them was Dark Water, which we both don't want to watch again yet.
No, so we've cheated the randomizer. Sorry, randomizer, but we've had to cheat you. But our main reason is that you're watching the Series 8 at the moment, aren't you? Again,
Yeah.
So you didn't want to watch it out of sync, basically.
Should we watch Q&A now?
Yep, let's go for the Q&A.
So Daddy Cool is going to interview the figure adventure versions of Peter Capaldi and Jenna Coleman.
I'm afraid, viewers, however much we tried, we couldn't actually get the actual Peter Capaldi and Jenna Coleman to the studio. But the figure adventure versions that star in the Mr. Lewis Moon Adventures were very happy to come along. So let's say hello to them. So hello, Peter.
Hello.
And hello, Jenna.
Hello.
Good to see you both
Nice to see you.
in the studio. But even more into, if we actually had one of those webcams attached, then you would actually see two figures bobbling around. So let's ask, first of all, Peter.
Yes.
How are you finding filming the new series now that work started on series 5?
Well, it's very good because it's my first proper series, and it's Jenna's first proper series. So it's just great to be with Polly, and it's just great to have to star in this great series, which I think revolves in lots of story arcs and lots. It's based on a very big, long story.
Okay, and Jenna,
Yeah.
your role in this series was kept a secret. It was only really
Yeah, it
announced
was.
at Christmas that you were going to be in it. So, what's it like to return?
What in the Mystery
yeah.
Adventures? Well, it's good to be in the show because I've really enjoyed it. And actually, I'll tell you the truth that I turned down the role for Poir in the early episodes, and Lisa Scando got the job, and I think I would have been worthless as Poir. So Lewis Moon got me another character.
I think one of the advantages that Lisa Scando had when it came to auditioning for the part of Poir is the fact she doesn't have a face. It's just quite an important part.
She's a very nice woman, you know. I met her when they were filming Face of Gravanta, and she came to visit when we were doing Day of the Dark Magic Strikes, actually.
Something that we're wondering, and I don't know how much you'll be able to reveal, but we want to know, is Dara a good girl or a bad girl?
Don't do impressions of me. Shut up, Peter. Now, I think that the Dara's a very bad gal, and she keeps her identity very secret throughout series 5. But she's a very secretive gal, and she likes to have a plan on her, a plan A and a plan B. And what we know so far about her is her mission is to kill the Doctor.
Yes, so that's going to be an interesting one. Peter, what can you tell us about the? I mean, I think we've had 2 titles now announced.
Yeah.
So what 2 titles have we got?
We've got Dara and we've got Dreamt.
When are we likely to see these?
I think we're expecting them around August. The expected date is August the 15th and August the 22nd for the second one.
Okay. So, are you able to tell us anything about the episodes at this stage?
Well, the first episode is the first episode with me as the Doctor, and the first episode with Jenna Coleman as Dara, and Corgata's returned.
Okay.
And the Autons are also returned. Rory, or as Lily calls him, Mr. Handsome, is back to help the Doctor, Lily, and Dara on the mission against Corgata.
Okay. Are we likely to see any other returning classic monsters, or is that all under lock and key at the moment?
Well, I've got there's a really good villain in episode 2, which is Dreamt, and I don't think I can say the name of that yet.
Okay.
Until the synopsis is revealed.
Jenna.
Yeah?
What would you say are the main differences between Clara and Dara?
Well, Clara is a bad girl, and no, Dara is a bad girl in your awful Scottish accent. No offense, Daddy Cool. But then Clara is a good girl. And I just wish that Clara would actually meet Dara in a future episode. That would be quite cool.
Who knows? Maybe that will happen.
Yeah, I know. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
So,
Peter, how far are we through filming so far?
Well, we've finished filming episode 1. I think we're soon going to start. Maybe next week we're going to start filming Dreamt.
Okay, so it's now in the editing stage, is it?
Dara's now in the editing stage.
Okay. Excellent. Well, we're going to be looking forward for that. I wonder, do we know yet when we'll start seeing any clips from any of these episodes? Are they likely to be hoisted upon us during the next few months?
Trailers are expected when we filmed the first 6 episodes.
Okay.
So when we filmed all of them, then we'll be able to release a full trailer.
Okay. Jenna, are you going to be a one-season wonder, or can we expect to see more of you in future series? Are you able to tell us that?
Well, I can't tell you who I am, can I?
No.
So
it's gonna
I'll tell
remain
you
a
that I'm
secret.
not Poir.
Okay.
If you are a Poir fan, I'm not Poir.
Ah.
I am someone else.
Unless you're doing a Moffat.
Unless I'm doing the Moffat.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not doing a Moon either, which is a bit weird.
That's good. We don't want anyone mooning in the studio. Okay. So trying to think of some more questions to tease you with. Are we looking at? Well, I mean, there's probably, knowing what Lewis Moon is like with his writing, there's probably going to be some form of story arcs, I would imagine, because
Who are you asking?
he introduces a story arc for everything, including his real life. He actually has story arcs in his own life. Are we looking at a largely Earth-based series, or are we going to be visiting various alien planets?
I think. Who do you want to ask?
Well, it's Jenna, as you start.
Okay. I mean, Polly, who plays Lily Eden. Lily Eden is basically a lot of this series. She's on Earth, and it tells you a bit more about her life on Earth and a new introduction to her life, a new doctor, and Dara, and all this is starting to mess up her life at home, and someone new comes into her life.
So who's the main companion in this series? Is it Lily or is it Dara?
I'd say it's Lily, because I think the first half it's Lily, and then the second half it's Dara.
Okay, Peter.
Yeah.
If of all the episodes, before you, basically going back right to the start of the Mr. Lewis Moon Figure Adventures, if you could have starred in any one of those early adventures, which one would you like to have been in?
I think probably the first one, because it's got Tom Baker in, who's one of my favorite doctors, and also I just love it how it's the first ever episode, and it would be great to start in the first ever episode of something.
Yeah, that's true.
If I was in any episode of Doctor Who, it would be in An Earthly Child.
So would you like to, are we likely to see you extending your appearances in this Figure Adventure series for longer than this series?
Well, Lewis Moon said to me that he's planning 3 series for me.
Okay.
So 3 series.
So that would take us into 2017, won't it?
If there is a series 7, then that's just the thing. If there is a series 7, then yeah.
Are there things that have been left unanswered in previous series of Mr. Lewis Moon Figure Adventures?
Who are you asking?
Peter.
Oh yeah.
Are there things that are going to become clear to us?
Well, if you notice in The Devil's Spider, the Ragnar says, serve the sea gods, the god of the sea. And over the next couple of series, you'll find out more about that.
Okay.
Because it only came into it once, but there's going to be something about that.
The figure version of Paul McGann, I think it's probably fair to say that there was more of a comedy edge to his figure quite often. Are we likely to see that same comedy edge coming through in your episodes?
No. Well, not with the Doctor. Maybe there will be, but not in a light way. I mean, Polly's very good as Lily in the series, and she's a bit more sarcastic.
Okay. Jenna, I think we've not asked you any questions for a while, so we'll come to you next.
Yeah.
Are you in the whole series?
Yeah, because you find out in the final episode who I am. So you have to wait 13 episodes.
Okay, so it's going to take quite a long time. So we're probably not going to really find out until sometime towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I know.
Is there going to be a Christmas edition this year?
Who's going to answer?
Jenna, I'll ask Jenna this one as well.
Yes, there is. And I'll tell you that all Lewis Moon has teased to us, because I'm not revealing to you if I'm in Series 6 or the Christmas special, but all he's teased is it's going to be a historical episode, but he's not going to tell us what.
Okay, back to Peter. Has the whole of this series been written or mapped out?
The first 8, episodes 1 to 5, and 7 and 8 have been written completely.
Okay.
But episode 9 is starting, and episode 6 is about halfway through.
Okay. We're going to ask you both now to go back in your time machine and think back through all the years of Who, and I'll ask you one by one. Peter, of all the figure adventure villains that have appeared, what's been your favourite, and who would you most like to meet? And then the same question to Jenna.
Hydrocarians, I'd say, because they're so cool and so fantastic. And Lewis Moon confirmed the other day that the Hydrocarians will return in a new episode, in the 2-part finale of this series, with another villain, which I cannot confirm. Jenna? I'm going to say my favourite has to be Poir, because, of course, I auditioned for it, first of all, and it's such a good part to play, and Lisa Scando must have had so much fun doing that part. I mean, it's such an amazing opportunity to be Poir.
Excellent. Good. And you're saying that we're not expecting to see Poir again for some time?
Not until the final episode.
Of Poir?
Yeah.
Ah, excellent. Okay.
Is that it? Or
I
do
think
have
that's
any more questions?
I think that's probably all the questions that we've got. So thank you very much. We'll be talking, no doubt, to various members of the cast in future episodes of the podcast, I would imagine.
We won't have another Q&A for a while, but we'll have in the lead up for the new series of Miss Lewis Moon Adventures, we'll have various crew members talking to us about from each series, one from each series, so 5 weeks up to the lead up. We'll be chatting to them about Miss Lewis Moon Adventures.
Okay.
In summer.
Sounds good. So, in terms of what we've got coming that probably wraps our show, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty much. So what have we got coming up next week then?
Next week, we're going to focus on another question
Mhm.
or a statement
Okay.
next week to the lead up for the 10th anniversary. It is going to be Doctor Who, my opinion, and me and Daddy Cool will be talking about our views on Doctor Who
Okay.
in New Who.
We'll also be obviously at some point during the week watching Dalek, and then we will be talking about Dalek to you.
We'll be having the final polls of the best of 2014 and the rest of the news.
We'll be pressing the randomizer again, and then we'll probably be pressing it again and again when things come up that we can't watch.
Yeah, and that's probably quiz or question.
Yeah, quiz or question is back next week, and news, obviously.
Another quiz or question back next week.
Good. Well, thank you very much for your time today. I hope you've
Thank
enjoyed
you.
it.
Bye.
Goodbye.